heard many people use the term happily married. Is this term happily married a cliche?
Happily married ever after is the usual way, good story ends. But whether it's a cliche or not depends definitely on the marriage it is, So if they, as a couple, enjoy that marriage and they're content with that marriage, truly it's a happy marriage. So you can be happy provided you work on it. It is not something that is automatic. You have to work on it. If you work on it, you can definitely be happy. And happiness is a state of mind. We need to really be content with what we have. If I keep expecting that my wife, is the queen of some place, and then then it doesn't happen, I will always be cribbing about it. So then I cannot be happy. But if I'm happy by the fact that God has given me the best that I deserve, and that's what we together can make, then I can always be happy about it. So it all depends.
Yeah, I would say happiness is how we view things. Happiness and contentment go together. If we are content in our relationship, we will choose happiness. So it's a choice to choose to be happy in spite of, irrespective of our environment or our circumstances. So happiness is a choice that we make depending on how we are able to enjoy our relationship, how we are able to see our relationship in the context of what is going on around us. If we are going to compare everything around us with what's going on with us, we may never be happy. So I would say, don't compare, look within, enjoy each other. As the marriage progresses and goes, you learn to grow into being a happy couple.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mathew and Mrs.Ciby, for sharing valuable insights and giving our viewers and listeners such information on this topic. If you want to reach out to us, please call us on this number 6364252164, or you can email us at info@fibaonline.org. We are continuing on this topic and theme, family relationships. So the next question, or the question I have for you is, what are the behavioral patterns that couples need to avoid that can seriously cause problems in marriage?
I think it is important for us to understand that sometimes we get into certain patterns in our communication where we don't understand ourselves firstly. So the important part is, when you are in a married relationship, you need to understand yourself and why you respond in certain ways and how your response impacts the other person. That is the key aspect. So certain behaviors that we can avoid when it comes in the marriage relationship is behaviors like constantly blaming others for what is going on. If we choose to cope by blaming, then it becomes harmful to the relationship, and the other person constantly is being blamed for everything that is happening. Rather than that, take responsibility where we have caused certain things to happen, or choose to talk about it rather than blame. Don't cope by blaming. That's not a good behavior to have in a marital relationship. Another way that is detrimental to the relationship would be where we, become yes masters to everything that is being said. That's also not good, where, we are controlled by the other. It can be either way, the wife controlling the husband or the husband controlling the wife. And one person pleasing them for everything without really communicating that they don't feel right in doing certain things. So I think we need to bring in this whole aspect of being assertive in our communication and not being aggressive. So that helps people who have this kind of a pleasing personality. I want to please everybody. I don't want to, have a conflict. So I'll just do everything. I'll just nod my head for everything. That's not a good, healthy behavioral pattern. Another one is irrelevant behaviors. So when I'm being asked about certain things, I answer in a totally different plane. That's irrelevant. We need to talk about what the particular issue is. So talk about it. Be willing to open up. Be willing to even talk about the uncomfortable things, so that it is clear, rather than you keeping it in your heart and behaving in an irrelevant way. And the other thing I would say that you need to avoid as a couple would be avoidance behavior. Suppose there is an issue, we tend to put it on the carpet. Let's not deal with it now. Avoiding things. Avoiding things is always destructive to a relationship. So if there is a conflict, if there's some area we disagree, and it's pretty strong in you that you disagree with your spouse, it is very important that you find the means to talk about it, because this avoidance builds up in a long period, and then one fine day the volcano will erupt, and then the spouse is wondering, you never told me, you never said anything at all. So it's better you say it when you are really uncomfortable about anything. Talk about it, and don't put the other down in that conversation, but rather respectfully, we always say, use I statements and say, I am feeling like this, or I am struggling with this. Don't blame. So our tendency to blame comes here as well. Because of you only, you are the reason. So we tend to use those you words more. I would encourage us to use I words. I am feeling upset. I am sad. I am, hurting. That helps you to talk further. And I think that will build your relationship rather than break it.
Even sometimes not knowing how to control your anger. That's a behavioral pattern. Some people just burst out when they get angry. They don't care about what's happening. They can throw things down and they can break things. Now that's not a very helpful behavior. And they also pride in their anger and say, when I get angry, but after that I have become normal, I'm very cool, and after that everything is gone. Big deal. You became angry, you made everybody's life a hell, and now you are feeling nice like heaven. That doesn't make a difference. That is not a healthy behavioral pattern. So such behavioral pattern, if we notice in us, we need to learn how to control our emotions, control our anger, so that we are able to truly make sense of our relationship in a much better way and move on.